Hi, hello, welcome. So, today, you're gonna ask what episode is it? It's the one where you actually do something. So, let's get to it. Alright, so. Shoot, I forgot to put that. Oh no, movement for me. Horrible audio quality. All my subscribers are gonna unsubscribe. Alright, that's enough dramatization. Welcome. I'm sorry for last episode. I know. That's terrible on my part. You can't believe me. I focus on doing a side quest instead of playing the actual game. And that's on me. So, let me raise the volume. And let me get to playing the actual game. Before you all just scream at me to die. Alright, Dr. Klein, let's check this out.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
No need for an attitude. I have recovered all the technological information.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
All these technologies have the information you need?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, what?
No. I mean, yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know?
Yes, I do. Why did you even give me the hope? Why did you have me even get them if you don't even know what they do?
I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them?
Right.
Yes. So let me... a bit. I'll figure it out.
Alright, so... Science 65. Look at the antenna focuses brainwave patterns, right? Repair 75. The antenna, any chance it was damaged or broke the X2 array once it was removed? Lockpick? Okay, so I have everything except Snake. Alright. I guess I'm gonna go for the either repair or that. You know, I'm gonna go science. Why? Because I don't really use science.
Yes, that's what I believe I said.
And the suit's cardiac regulator and the sonic frequency in the is a spiral. I give up.
I've got it. The cardiac regulator in the suit, the antenna for brain waves, and the sonic frequency for the vertebral nerves.
Yes.
I'm thinking. This is all very complicated. Let me check something. Of course. I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics.
No way.
Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his.
Alright. I forgot I left my mic on mute, so that's entirely on me. So, there might be an overlap in number recordings, but that should be fine. Don't these items seem more biologically focused than that, though?
Biological? Ridiculous. I mean, technically, these items could all be used to put you back together once you had your brain. But for now, they can be used in the name of aggression. The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now.
Sorry, I'm just checking if I am properly recording, and I was. Am I recording? Yes, I am. Alright. So, I've been through this whole spiel before. Let me just go back up to the sink, as I did before. And, yeah. I know what I need to do. I'm just getting rid of excess weight, because I know that, yeah, I really don't have the space for that. I have the space for, of course, 17 bottles of water, but that's my own business and you should not be prying into that. I'm kidding, I'm not gonna do that to y'all. They're just healing stuff, because I know I am completely broke, and I don't have the resources to, you know, handle that properly, so as much as it sucks, I'm glad I did catch the fact that, yeah, let's go over here because the enemy's on the other side. I'm glad I did catch the fact that I wasn't properly recording this early, so I'm grateful for the crash. You gotta be humble and happy, you know? I'm not gonna whine and cry because, alright. Is there anything actually useful? Oh boy, random gunshots. It's fine, but I'm just trying to get through here as fast as I can. Because I know, yeah, I do need just to get to my location. That's all I'm preoccupied with right now. Can I get there yet? Alright, sounds good. And I think this is where I crashed. Alright. Alright, so what the hell? Can I just keep doing this? I'm really curious. I have like 700 shots. I don't have any actual proper ammo, so I'm gonna keep it under a shot. This is what I'm gonna do. So, let me have a little conversation with you. Because, yeah, it's gonna suck. Just hearing the same thing over and over again. So welcome. Hello. Hi. Welcome to another Minecraft video. I don't know. This is a very interesting little situation we found ourselves in. Honestly, it would have been more useful if I just ran, but I'm really curious what happens if I kill the X42 giant Robo-Scorpion. So, let me tell you about my day, or whatever random thought I had of the day. I know, it's not what you're here for, but I don't think you're very interested in me just killing a giant Robo-Scorpion and shooting him the same way with the compliance regulator 50,000 times. So, let me talk about something really dumb. Origami. You may ask, what about origami? I find it to be the most, well, clear and the most obscure thing of all time. You may ask why. You can have like a machine processed origami video because you need to very clearly see those folds. And I've done origami before, and the most obscure movement that's covered by the hand is always the most complicated. And that's something I always find to be the case with origami. And it absolutely, by all means, sucks, yes, but I just find it amusing. Why? Because it's something I did not expect by any means. But we're getting closer to the end of this giant scorpion's little turn. Damn. I got 50 EXP for that. My armor is from that, just from straight shooting. Alright, so I'll just keep it on 4. I'll change the audio in game if that's the case. Oh boy, 600 EXP. Do I get to get anything from that? No? I hate you. You want me to die? Okay, that's fine. So, let me check the... Oh. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to be awesome and cool and run over there and actually do something. Yeah. Well, that was... I don't think that was very intended of me. I mean, it didn't attack me from the start, so that's the game's fault, but I find it to be a funny coincidence. Because of all things, I didn't expect that. And I have no use for those drones since I just spent like 3 minutes just straight shooting at. I know, shameful. I don't even know what those guys are doing. Maybe I'll get shot by them, but we'll see in like a second. Yeah, it's not. This reminds me of GLaDOS, though. Like a... Is that who I think it is? Dr. Mobius. Alright, am I actually recording? Yes. Alright, I'm just making sure because that after a little mishap got to me. Alright, so, hi, Doctor.
Hmm? Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young,
Thank
very
you.
bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. Flying tortoises were the worst.
I'm sure they were.
Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks. I can
I
tell.
love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
Why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. The anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way.
Oh.
You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
And why is that a problem? Well, honestly, I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
I can fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh,
Alright, Bob.
yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon Mentats break.
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I
Alright,
sent
Bob.
that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch
I'm
out!
scared.
So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
I was curious about some things.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
Can you tell me about your robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Wait, it sounds like you built the robo-scorpions. Issued threats to keep the think tank occupied?
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, science? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better than I do.
Everything you told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name Mobius.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation.
I don't have a brain.
Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
You reprogrammed their names as part of the recursion loop? What, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Why did you trap them?
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan C's in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. Probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several plan Bs in case the As fail.
Klein, Mobius, O, a circle, 8, an infinity symbol. They're all loops. I get it. So I think, oh yeah, the Klein bottle, a Mobius strip, O is a symbol of infinity, O is a continuous loop, 8's an infinity symbol. They're all just representative. I did not know that.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboros. Alright. Alright, that's something I don't understand.
Really? It is so
I can't
unlike me to make an error in
differentiate the
anything I
localizations
do.
of these. If you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
But there must have been other signs of a larger world.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
The bullet that went into my brain. Doc Mitchell bulleted it out to patch me up, but... Alright, I could use either, but I guess I use perception.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats in just you instead of the other way around. Mentats? In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
So, if I don't get my... Wait. So you sent your threats on a loop to keep them occupied?
Yes, I certainly wouldn't loop it on purpose. Purpose.
Purpose.
I am far too sophisticated to make such a childish
Error.
error.
Client said they had an idea to get in the three technologies. Sorry. Client said they had an idea to get the three technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea,
No.
and luck.
Alright.
So watch it, potty mouth.
My apologies.
My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
What is the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Was there any other data transmitted in your threats broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore,
Thank
you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
I was curious about some other things.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just...
Alright. Oh, come on.
Oh, intriguing. I've never... Well, if there's going to... How should we begin? Engineer...
Whichever way you want to be killed is fine with me.
How... Minions, destroy this... Oh.
Alright, let's check this out.
You've
Alright.
made science mad!
I'm sorry. That's really funny. Dr. Melvins. I was saying something. I said that's just Saul or something. I don't know.
What being killed?
I know. You're blazing out. Whoa there. Why don't you, cowboy? I'm sorry, That made me laugh a little. Just a random pop. I love when random things go flying. It's really dumb, but I like it. Alright, that's all. Alright, what do you need? Dr. Mobius? Nothing. Should I just take everything? Yeah. You. And you. Why do you not have any ammo on you? I'm broke. We all know this. So excited to kill Dr. Mobius, but honestly I might kill the rest of the think tank. Oh boy, my brain.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been? Crawling through pits of
I
radioactive...
can tell if that's my own brain or the robot. Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
I'd love a cookie. There is no need to be sarcastic. Meeting your own brain is slightly an odd event.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
Yes, because running around a crater full of bizarre scientific experiments, hygiene is a top priority.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
Why are you such a...
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes.
You are, you're my
I'm not the
brain.
one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge.
You are my
And
conscience.
have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave?
You?
Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
You are my brain. You're responsible. Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason.
Yeah.
All those feelings that motivate you, those urges to hurt people, to take and crush and maim.
The
Do you
heart?
know where they come from? Glands. They
Alright.
come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
Oh, come on. That stuff's fun.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun?
I got my shot.
Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh?
Do I
Enjoy
get
that, do
syphilis?
we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Do you want? Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to go back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
Oh, shucks, you got me there. What about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek? The smell of food? Love?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me,
Alright.
you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Oh yeah, just like me. Isn't it just as true you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
No, certainly. We are at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So, what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceeding... Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and we would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are...
Then let's go make them share. Come on, brain. It's stomping time.
Oh, lovely. We've reached the mindless violence portion of the program. Tell me, what exactly are you, and I use the word loosely...
Alright, let's check this out. So, I'm going to give them a demonstration of the physics behind the small, fast-moving chunking, behind the small, fast-moving chunks of blood. And then I'm going to show them what really is the brightest thing in the room. Since I just upgrade, I guess I'm gonna go guns.
Now that you mention it, I do miss that lovely rat-a-tat-boom a bit. It's just not the same without a body to feel the recoil. What's the next...
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Alright. The reason why I'm using, what do you call it, why I chose to kill the think tank is because it's too late. You may ask, oh, is it too late? They haven't done anything. The think tank is inherently too curious for its own good. You may ask, what do I mean by that? They will see the world outside. They will follow what Dr. Mobius was talking about. They are going to... Well, I'll just take that, because why? Because, this... I'm hoping it works for this guy. Oh, come on. I'll take that one. Did I do the right one? Alright.
Did you even know you were wearing me?
Yes, I did. So...
Stimpack reserves, adequate.
Alright, pal. Oh boy, I meant that.
Medic supplies, adequate.
Whatever you said. So, due to the think tank being too smart for its own good, it's going to cause massive harm to them. So, as sucky as it is, then yeah, I have to kill them. They were interesting characters after all. It is for the betterment of every individual that they remain either stuck inside or pacified. And I know that that option's been cut off. And for that reason, for the betterment of the wasteland, I am going to have to handle the think tank. Hey, maybe that's too barbaric, that's too crazy, I can't believe you, and I'm unsubscribing. And I get that, I get where you're coming from, and I try to understand what you mean. But I think it's for the best that, you know, they remain either trapped inside with their own little oh my goodness. At this point, I might as well get a Menthats addiction. I'm getting pushed around because of my, for some reason, my stick drift I've never had before this, So, yeah, that's my plan, that's why I chose to do that, that's my rationale here. I would rather not kill random individuals for my own benefit, but some things have to be done, and I understand that this wasteland would be better off without some of these minds. Because in their pursuit of science, I understand they abandon their morals And if they abandon their morals, I understand what will come. And what's that to come? Death. Just needless death because of their lack of regard for humanity. Their endless curiosity will take hold of everything. So, yeah, I make my little venture off to over there. And that's my plot, my plan, my evil machination. Oh, that's wonderful. Alright, y'all, give me like 1 second, because I don't know what to do about that. That's definitely a sucky thing. This game absolutely loves crashing on me. And that's certainly an experience, but thankfully I was already at a save point. Alright, let's check this out. So, what do I get from not having a heart? Alright. I cannot be poisoned. Alright, that's good. And spineless. Can't be crippled and strengthened threshold. I was gonna just stick with those, because why? It's actually pretty good. And brainless. I don't know. Those are pretty good buffs just to have. So, I'm just thinking, because I know I'm gonna have to fight the think tank, and that's gonna be interesting, so. I'll take drugs for the first time in a while. Dr. Klein awaits you. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Let me actively save, because I know better. So, what am I gonna use? Buff out. Chat. Medax. Menthats. My 100 menthats. Psycho. Rebound. Steady. 11 Sunsets Asperillus. Thick red paste. Alright. I was gonna save again. Why? Just to make sure. So.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
Alright. I found my brain. Now you and I are gonna settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain.
I'm not handing over my brain. There are some things we have to discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place is. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave.
Do you think I'm the lobotomite? No. For my skullhouse is the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Besides, there's no way such a thing...
Actually, I'm just gonna reload. Why? Because I want to do that. It's a silly little thing, so I'll test it out.
The lobotomite.
Discuss. You. Nothing is impossible for science. Messon's lasers, Adam's brainwaves, they are all under my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank?
I have offered a deal. Stay here, stay put, and heal. I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this. For me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. This is...
I'm not gonna allow this for the... Fuck no.
Uh-oh.
The reason why I let any of you have this conversation is because I was curious. Come on. There's something else I could target. I don't know what Boris is supposed to represent though.
Was that all?
Let's take everything I can off these guys and see myself out. So, what do I need to do again? Because there's two options. I guess I'll leave.
As it had
Alright,
been in
I'm
the
gonna go
years
mute. I'm
before
gonna
the
let y'all enjoy
Great
this.
War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
The Forbidden Zone continued to be, true to its name, forbidden. No more robo-scorpions were sighted in its canyons. Big Mountain became even emptier, devoid of Dr. Mobius's proclamations forecasting the destruction of anything that dared possess sentience. Still, it is said he lived on in the equations inscribed on the floor and walls of the Forbidden Zone dome. A cobweb tracery of symbols that told of 1,000 brilliant thoughts, now lost to time.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer
You
to the
freak.
X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the big empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree,
I love you,
reducing all
Toaster.
appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other sink personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Well, that was the DLC. Oh, I came big brained. Big brained. Back of my body, I still can't be crippled. 10% more. And, yeah. And that's the Big Mountain Transporter. Hooray. Well, I'll leave it here, and I'll pick it up another time. But what I'd like to tell y'all is, I quite like this DLC. It was a bunch of talking, if I'm being entirely honest. No, shut up. It's a lot of talking, if I'm being honest. And in the end, alright, that's enough out of you. Alright, what I liked about it. It was an incredibly interesting concept, and I think it was thoughtfully done and executed. My disenjoyment of it mainly relied off the fact that, look at that, what do I have? Nothing. Nothing. There was no actual market, and I was completely broke, so I couldn't really, not broke, I couldn't buy anything, so I couldn't do anything for a lot of it. The test things were repetitive and tiring, but overall it was a very interesting concept of morality and science, from what I took it to be. Basically, that it was a very elaborate game, and I thought it was a neat little DLC. Any one of you can have your own little perspective, and that's completely okay. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. I'm not pressuring you. But I appreciate any of you for joining me along this journey on Old World Blues. Next up, I don't know. Maybe, honestly, it might be Old Dead Money. And I know it's about whatever. But I'm glad to have you guys here. Even through the technical difficulties, that's just how it is. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and have a good night, and good day, and good night. Bye.